there's a lot of people that like the internet is a great help, but it's also a great hindrance. And what I mean by that is I can get on national plumbing Facebook groups and I can ask questions and I can learn what works for everybody all around the nation, right? I can learn that, you know, guys in California don't charge a service charge and they're killing it. So maybe we don't need to charge a service charge, right? Or, you know, guys in Illinois are charging a service charge and they're killing it. So maybe we need to charge a service charge, right? Yeah. And so you have to take, and you could find examples of that through and through. Do you offer financing? Do you not offer financing? Do you do payment plans? Do you not do payment plans? Do you sell Kohler products? Do you not? Moen, you know, all these, like, everything, right? Yeah. And ultimately, just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And where that's coming from is like, let's just say the state of California, for example, especially on the coast. That is a very interesting dynamic in California where the rules that work there don't apply everywhere else in the nation.
No, it's an interesting place. We have a member at Tradewinds that has a company in California and one in Tennessee, and he literally will say, "Dude, it's completely opposite."
Yeah, he's got two locations, and he has to manage each one of them completely different, right?
Like now, when we talk, I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." Like, I literally want to ask him, "I don't know how you're doing it, man."
Right.
Like,
right.
It's completely different.
Well, and for instance, I went last summer. I visited San Francisco, and beautiful city. Like, it looked great. I didn't know it at the time. We were there in the weeks before those Chinese diplomats or dignitaries or whatever showed up.
Yeah, so they cleaned up the city.
They had cleaned up the whole city. Yeah. We didn't know that. We show up and we're like, this isn't anything like it is on social media. Like, I haven't seen a homeless guy yet, and there's not one pile of shit in the street.
Yeah, it's because they took a whole bunch
cleaned it all up.
It's because they took a whole bunch of money and they were like, hey, look, why these guys are here.
Make these guys go away for a minute.
Yeah, you've got it. We're gonna pay for your hotel rooms for 2 weeks. Don't come outside. Here's your drugs and money.
Yeah. That's exactly what they did.
I know. I 100% know.
They do it for the Oscars, too. Every time the Oscars come around, they get the fencing out. Hey, no, you can't be on the street.
Yeah, they don't want that stuff.
But like, everything was really expensive out there, right? Like, everything. You go out for fast food, and it's like $14 a person. You go get gas, and it's like $5 a gallon, and all this stuff, right? Yeah. And, I mean, just to valet park the car was $50. Yeah. And that's not including tip. That's just, you want your car parked, it's $50. Yeah. You know? And so
it's insane, man.
And it's like, you could either pay $50 or you could get this parking garage that's going to charge you $30 every time you leave. Yeah. So valet at $50 a day is actually cheaper than the parking garage at $30 every entrance, right?
Yeah, you valet.
Yeah. And so, you know, I posed the question on some national Facebook groups, like, hey, what do you guys are in the San Fran area, like, what are you guys charging? What's your rates? Not a single person had rates as high as mine. No. And mine aren't high.
It's because California, like, let's be honest, it's saturated with companies, but not saturated with employees. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of one and three man shops out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's tons and tons and tons of companies to call, but none of those companies
are just doing it for paychecks.
Yeah, none of those companies seem to be able to get big because they can't hire a lot of employees and be big.
Right. And so essentially,
it's just weird.
Like,
I shouldn't say weird. It's just different.
That's just another example of what works for them doesn't mean it works for us, right? I don't know how it works for them, but somehow they're surviving off charging about half of what I am.
Well, let's be honest. They're surviving, not growing. Right. Not getting big. Like, you know, we talk about it all the time. The whole deal is to grow your business so that you could either be in a position to sell or be in a position where you don't have to be in it daily and can retire off of it, right? Right. None of those guys are doing that.
Right. Right. Like, they're basically started their own company to replace a job. They're not, they don't own a business.
They may, and to be honest, it's probably good for them. They're probably making 20% more, right? But they have 20% more headaches.
Yeah, probably more than that even.
You know, and they're not growing.
Yeah. Like, but that's a testament of like learn about them, but also just because it works for them doesn't mean it'll work for me, right? And you're going to see examples like this. The more you look, you're going to see it. I saw an infographic. I wish I would have saved it, but you've got some big name influencers all over the internet, right? And you've got one that's like, buy real estate. And then you've got another equally successful influencer that's
Never
like
buy
real
real
estate
estate
is just wasting your money,
Yeah.
right? And you've got one that says invest in the stock market. And then you've got another that's like, do not invest in the stock market. It's wasting your money. And all of these guys are successful in their own right. And so, again, it's just another example of like what works for them may not work for you. And you don't know the whole picture, right? Like the guy that's saying don't buy real estate, he's not saying don't make investments. He's just saying that he's found his fortune in investing in things other than real estate. Jacob Stoller, who spoke at our last TradeWinds event.
Oh, yeah, in Vegas.
He is a big proponent of not getting into real estate, especially if your business is not producing more than $1 million a year in profit, not just sales, profit. He's like, his adage is like, what are you going to do? Plunk $100,000 down on some real estate? And now you think you're like a real estate investor? Meanwhile, if you took that $100,000 and reinvested it back into your business that you already know how to work, you could turn that $100,000 into a lot more than whatever it's going to be in real estate, right? Now, he does say full circle. Eventually, when you've run out of things to invest your money in, then get into real estate. Or if you're looking to sell your businesses and you want to go passive, now you start investing into real estate. But he was like, this whole real estate thing is it sounds good because all these influencers talk about passive income. Literally the only thing that is passive income is like the stock market or investing into somebody else's real estate fund where you're just getting dividend checks.
Yeah. Real estate is not passive.
God, no.
Everyone wants to pretend like it is, but it's not. And I fully believe in real estate.
Yeah.
But it's not it's not passive income.
Right.
It's just not. The problem I have is and this is kind of where this conversation's going, is they'll hear Jacob say that, and then they will take it as full on
Bible.
Yeah, biblical prophecy. This is what I do.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
Like, this is the whole, I don't want to ramble, but this is the whole, like, if everyone did what they wanted to do and everyone went in the same way, we'd have no garbage man talk.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There is a hole to fill everywhere.
Yep.
You have to find your niche market.
Yeah.
But the way to handle yourself, not only in business and as an entrepreneur, is you have to find your niche market regardless of whatever it is. It has to be something that you're happy doing, that you're grateful doing, that you can be good at. And we all have our own little space that all of those things come together and allow us to make money. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, not everyone can be Mitch. I'm just going to use you as an example. I don't want to run a plumbing company and have 4 guys. Could I do it? Yeah. Would I be happy doing it? Fuck no.
Right.
Like, I hate being on call anymore.
Right.
I used to love it. Don't love it anymore. Hate it. Stop fucking calling me, okay?
Right.
I'm over it. What do I want to do now? Maybe a little real estate, maybe a little bit in the market, maybe a little bit of consulting. Like, that's what fuels me now. Right? So I obviously can't take every word of advice that Mitch would say Mitch and I didn't know each other, and he comes to me with all this advice, and I'm a plumber. You need to do this, you need to do that. I'm not interested in that. I can't take that all to heart as 100%. It just doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean? But people will do that. They will see stuff on social media or on the internet or on TV or whatever and be like, oh, no, that's it. That's gospel. I'm taking it and I'm running with it.
Yep.
Dude, you can't just grab onto one thing and run with it. You have to take all of this stuff in, all of these different considerations, real estate, investing, plumbing, all of these different things, and then decide what defines you and is going to make you happy.
Yeah.
And then run with that.
Right.
But people, you're right. People will grab one thing and just be like, nope, that's it.
It may be a 10-step course, but you only need 3 steps because of the context of your business or something.
Well, and a lot of it, branches on to like the college topic, right?
Yeah.
Going in high school, we were all.
Yeah, we could be all over with this topic.
If they still do this.
Problem with it.
Right. I don't know if they still do this or not. It doesn't appear like they do. But like when you and I were in school back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
We graduated in 2000 for everyone that's wondering.
Yeah, we graduated in 2000.
Senior year started in 99.
It was all like, if you want to be successful, you have to go to college. You have to go to college, right?
Yeah.
And so the mantra was, that's the only path to success. Well, Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, the TV show.
Oh, I like Mike Rowe.
That show, I posted this on December 31st, 2021. Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe featured over 40 multi-millionaires, but nobody knew it because success is often covered in muck, slop, and dirt.
Yeah.